Hello everyone, it's Deb Loves of Deb Loves Jewelry, and today I'm sharing a fun project that I'm making with these vintage check glass flower bead caps. I am on the design team for artbeads.com, and we went out to the warehouse for art beads, and we dug through tons and tons of vintage palettes and boxes of beads. Some had not seen the light of day. And we picked out some treasures that we loved, and these were some of my favorites. And they come in 5 colors, in a mix of the 5 colors, and I'm just crazy about them. They are so high quality, lovely, and I think sometimes people struggle with using bead caps, especially the glass ones, because they're drilled through the center and maybe folks don't really want to use them in the traditional way. So I'm using some of those bead caps and some regular metal bead caps, also some seed beads, and I've got some daisy spacers, which I love. So I'm going to pull out my little workspace here, my little bead mat, and I'm going to use some 49 strand Bead-A-Lon beading wire, and I'm going to create a bracelet. So I'm going to be using these a little bit untraditionally. I'm always trying to think of ways to do things a little bit differently. So I'm using a daisy spacer at the end of my metal bead cap, and I'm putting another daisy spacer on the inside of it. And then I'm using some separation with the seed beads. Then I'm adding a daisy spacer on either side of the flower bead cap. And I'm treating it just like a bead. Now I'm going to string these all around my beading wire, just a strand of these with the daisy spacers and a couple of seed beads in between. Now I wasn't sure when I started how many seed beads I was going to use, but I ended up with 2 in between each bead. And I think that adds just the right amount of separation of these bead caps, these glass bead caps. And I just put them in a pattern of the colors. I'm using all the colors. I think they're absolutely lovely. This is a great spring and summer bracelet. And I'm measuring it out, but being aware that this size of a bead, this unusual shape of the bead, could skew the size of the bracelet that you want to make. So if you are making something like this, you'll want to actually put it on your wrist. So I measured it out, and then I put it on my wrist using some bead stoppers. And then when I was satisfied with the size, I actually cut it from the package. And then I made some slight adjustments to the end of the bracelet. I had just a few too many seed beads at the end, but I wanted those silver bead caps at the end. I just thought they added a nice little finished touch. You could actually spread them out throughout the bracelet. That might be interesting as well. So I've got this chunky, beautiful vintage bead bracelet, lovely colorful flowers. I absolutely love it. So I'm just using a really simple toggle clasp, one that's proportionate to the bead size. I'm using some French wire and some size 2 crimp tubes, and I'm taking about an inch of that French wire and cutting it in half. And I'm going to put at each end a crimp tube and a piece of that French wire, and then I'm just going to crimp on my toggle. And you can put your toggle right over that French wire, and then I'm putting the wire down through the crimp and down through the bead cap, the metal bead cap that's at the end. I'm pulling it tight, getting it nice and snug while letting the bracelet be very fluid, and then I'm crimping. And you're just going to use the traditional crimp technique to get that closed off. I'm going to cut off my excess, and then I'm just going to do the same thing at the other end. And I'm really happy with how this bracelet turned out. It is so much fun to wear. So you can try something like this as well. I'm going to drop a link to these beads in the comment section of the video, and maybe you can check them out if you're interested. I'm so in love with this. I hope that you'll be interested at least to give this technique a try with bead caps. Maybe you don't pick up these glass beads, but maybe you've got something else to work with. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video and subscribe to Deb Loves Jewelry. Thanks so much for watching.